To order at 18:30 hours. Recognition of public. Hi, Ian. New additions to the agenda. Sheila?
I'd like to move that we nominate Troy to chair the meeting this evening in Ann Ryder's absence.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
And along that line, there are three things that were supposed to happen in the first meeting. A three-person board has never been an issue. With a five-person board, the first meeting, you elect the chair, you elect the vice chair, and you elect your parliamentary procedure. So having that, said that, I would nominate Troy as the vice chair of the select board.
Seconded.
All
Aye.
in favor?
Good.
No.
Discussion?
Discussion, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't know if, I'm assuming you're correct because I assume that you know the rules, but I wonder if we should wait until Ann gets here to act on something like that, because she probably should have introduced the subject and brought it up, and I think it would be good to have her part of this vote. So I would like to suggest that, well, we'll take a vote, but I'm gonna vote against it because I think we should table it.
It doesn't matter to me.
It's also, would be a new addition to the agenda.
It would be.
It would be.
So with that, yeah, I agree with that. Let's, that's a changes to the agenda order and stuff like that. Let's table this until we are all five here, present.
I think
So
you
that
need
would
to-
be one of the first things on the,
So can we just so we didn't vote A, B, would you repeat what you said? We need a,
First meeting, it's a state, I can show you in the book.
yeah, you're supposed to have a chair.
Chairman, you elect
Right.
the vice chair, and you pick your parliamentary procedure, whether it be Robert's rules or whatever, and we didn't do any of that.
I'm sorry, a clerk.
Clerk to the board chair.
Okay, I just think that's
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you know, to tell you the truth, Dick, I
talked to
never
Gabby
even
about
thought
this
about
earlier.
that.
Well, we've got a three-person board, it's never been an issue.
yeah.
Right.
I think it's a good
Five-person board,
idea.
We can't play musical chairs with the chair.
Nope.
Musical chairs with the chair, that's,
So we still haven't voted on it.
yeah.
Right, so all those in favor to have me to chair the meeting on tonight, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyone opposed? So moved. Changes to the agenda order? I don't know of any. Go on to the approval of the minutes from June 22nd of 2015.
I would like to move that we approve the minutes with a number of corrections that are primarily typos, nothing to the content. I'll stop discussing until there's a second.
Dick can't, he wasn't
Oh yeah,
here.
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, any discussion?
I'd like to say that I took these minutes while I was also participating in the meeting the last time, and I made a lot of typos. And then I sent them to Becky without really checking on the typos. So they're mostly commas and the missing, or she needs to be written instead of the. And I have them written here, and I would like to be able to just go over them with Becky and there are no changes to the content. So that is my request.
Well, with that being said, and I'm not 100% about this, but Dick could correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we can table this until the next meeting, until the minutes are corrected for the pen and ink changes, if I'm not mistaken, Dick?
You can do that, or because there's no change in contract, you can accept the minutes as read pending the amendments, the non-content amendments to it.
Okay.
Which was my motion.
Do I have a second on that? Yes.
Wait, say the motion again?
The motion is that we accept the minutes with edits typing edits,
Pending the edit.
pending typing edits.
Just typographical edits.
Yeah,
that's
no
fine.
content changes.
And you're agreeing that's okay under the rules?
believe it
Yeah, I
is,
think so
yeah.
too. And I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, sir.
If you're wrong, you're in trouble.
Is he abstaining because he wasn't?
He wasn't here, yes. And no more allowed you being hurt your ankle and stuff like that, okay? At least she was, I know she was trying to clippy clack, clippy
Here's the
clack.
page to sign. We'll get it.
Moving on to new business. Award bids for heating oil, propane, gas, and diesel fuel. We sent out bids to any, no,
This,
no, this back here. We sent bids out to Coda and Coda, Guy Nido, legal notice. The only ones that came back to us was Keen Gas, Barrels and Fisher Oil are the only two that returned the bids. Keen Gas returned a bid of $297.9 for the fire station, library, and historical society. And Barrels and Fisher Oil sent back bids for the town office at $309.9. The fire station at $256.9. Highway garage at $256.9 for the number 2 fuel oil, and diesel fuel for $233.6 for summer and $238.6 for winter.
I would like to make a motion to table those until we have more information. Number one, we don't control the fire department, they're a separate entity. And we've always had good luck with barrels as far as the town garage goes. Coda and Coda has taken care of the Historical Society at a very reasonable rate. Why they didn't bid, I don't know. They're the ones that spent time out here, and I don't know if the rest of them did or not, but I spent time with Coda and Coda out here. They went over some gas saving procedures to do at the Grange in different places, and I've had Keen Gas for a lot of years, and one of the happiest days of my life was when they come picked up their tanks.
so, Dick, I'm sorry, are you moving that we
Table it.
table it and ask Becky to get more, to try harder to get alternate bids?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't quite understand the,
Well, I think I think Dan is happy with Barrows, and the Historical Society actually is the only, well, you got the library and the Historical Society are the only ones that use propane that we're involved with. One has Keen Gas, one has Coda. The fire department, I don't know who they do use for diesel, probably Barrows. Kerosene is, the price on kerosene is so volatile that they can't predict, and it's kerosene is what we burn here. Kerosene, the price on that is so volatile they can't predict the price.
Yeah, it goes up and down like a
Yeah,
yo-yo.
the pure kerosene and the diesel with the additive is a little different. So yeah, and I'd like some people sitting over there that I can do my usual thing.
could you restate the motion?
Wait, so what, can I say, what more information do you want Becky to get? Because I believe she talked to Coda and Coda a couple
Yeah, she talked
times.
to Coda twice.
So I just want to, if we could clarify, so that way we can.
I talked to Coda and Coda the day he came here. And he
Which was-
gave me
I'm
the
sorry,
price.
when?
He gave, huh?
When was this?
The day he came here,
Yeah,
whatever
I
it
saw
was.
him
And
then,
so
and I talked
Becky-
to them 2 other
Yeah,
times
yeah.
since then.
And in fact, we met at the Grange because we had some issues. Actually, one of the issues with Keen Gas was we had a leaky tank and they just kept filling it up. We went over a lot of things with the Grange, and he just discussed a desire to do what he could for the town. He's more local than Keen Gas, one thing. And Mark, I'm sure, would come in and sit here and tell us. The other guys, I don't know, and that's what I like, is sitting there so we can, never mind what information they give Becky, because
I'm sorry, say that again, never mind the information they get, Becky, or that
Becky
they
doing
didn't?
her job, she puts that out for the bids.
Mhm.
The next thing would be, can you come to select board meeting and talk to us?
Oh, so you want Keen Gas, Barrows and Fisher, and at least Coda and Coda to
yeah.
show up at the meeting to discuss it with us? Now, so can I just,
How much
And
is
what-
what's the value, more or
My
less? of
point,
it?
my point is, as you recall last summer, and I don't take notes, but I remember a lot of junk. If you recall last summer, we had a roof issue. We had 2 bids, and you didn't act on them because we didn't have a 3rd bid. And now you wanna act on 1 bid.
Okay, well, I wasn't here last summer, you weren't here last summer, so I don't know about that, but,
You weren't here, but
I'm excused.
you're out. But
Um,
if we got a 3-bid policy, let's go with a 3-bid policy,
So,
not pick and choose.
You sought 3 bids, we've sought 4 bids, and you
Yeah.
only got responses based on your invitation for
until we
bids,
can
and you're
get-
following your
That we
procurement
need to get
policy.
3 bids in before we
There's
have,
there's
what's our
nothing competitive, there's
policy?
nothing
No.
competitive about those bids.
What's
You
our,
don't have to get 3
Three
bids,
bids.
you have to seek an invitation for bids, you followed your procurement policy. I've made more than enough attempts to try to get bids in. Other towns around have only gotten 2 bids back on some of these things, and
is it because it's a small contract, small size contract? Are we
Yeah.
talking hundreds or thousands of
It
dollars?
is, it is.
So it's
It's
not
a
even
small
worth it,
contract.
their time to come to a meeting.
Uh,
and maybe this, what were you unhappy with Keen Gas?
little usage fee, tank rental fee,
yeah.
So the fees added up. Okay,
that sort of thing, plus their price was, there's an organization I had dealt with over the years that Keen Gas, average for the year, was $2 more than
okay.
another price, so.
Now, now, the library uses Keen Gas now, right?
I believe
Or
they
this,
do.
okay,
Who does?
The
the
library.
library,
Library.
okay.
Yeah.
The fire station we can't really speak to,
Yes,
right?
we can,
Okay.
because I sent emails back
You
and
can.
forth to the people that oversee the fire station to find
Okay.
out, do they wanna be included in any of these bids? They said absolutely.
Okay,
And I have all the,
okay. The Historical
Email.
Society uses what now?
Quote unquote.
Okay.
actually, they don't, because you didn't sign the agreement with them. That's what started all of this, is because the town hasn't gone out to bid for fuel.
Well, we
I
haven't had
can't find
to,
it.
we haven't had to.
You really should be doing that, because you're not following your procurement policy.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
right now, there is no signed agreement for the historical building
okay,
with CODA.
but they used to use, or until this fiscal year, used Coda.
Right.
Okay. The fuel oil number 2, with the kerosene, what do we use now? Barrows and Fisher?
Barrow and Fisher.
Okay. The fire station, Barrows and Fisher?
I would guess probably.
Okay. The highway garage, Barrows and Fisher?
Yep, we use Barrows and Fisher.
And for the diesel fuel as
Yes,
well.
yes,
Have we
yes.
had an issue with Barrows and
No.
Fisher?
They're
No,
kind of
propane
less,
is the
basically.
one I have
Okay,
issue
so we're
with.
happy with Barrows and Fisher. So can we at least say, let's,
That's what we said, let's continue on.
right, okay, so that's the second, so it's really just the propane.
Yeah.
All right,
Which Barrows and Fisher doesn't bid on.
doesn't do.
No,
Yeah.
they only do
No.
fuel oil and coal.
So do you want Becky to come back and ask Coda and Coda why they didn't bid? I mean, I'm not sure they
On
will
the
tell
propane?
us. Yeah, on the propane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they have any obligation to tell us. I don't know, you know? And then she called them twice
What
after
if-
speaking
what if-
with them.
What if I stopped at Coda, said, we didn't get your bid, would you like to give us one?
I made phone calls right
Yeah.
up until the day before, and even the morning before, I talked with Mark, and he had 3 hours to get another, he had plenty of time to get us something.
And you spoke
they
with him in
didn't.
person?
I spoke with him in person here after he met with Dick that day, and 2 other times after that on the phone.
Because I guess my concern is if they're unresponsive and we've been really active in getting,
You're setting a precedent if you don't award a bid to someone that was
Bid.
respective of your bid
I believe we
deadlines.
have the right to refuse any and all bids.
we can, but I guess is this a slippery slope? Do we want to tell people they don't really need to bid on time? Because if we
We
really
did that
want,
before.
well, I wasn't on the board before, so iron fist you have to rule with, huh?
That
Yeah.
precedent was set a year ago.
I had nothing to do with that, so I can say whatever I want.
So,
But I'm-
right now, we have on the table, Richard would like to table this. Do I have a second? Okay, with that said, as I stated before, we received a bid from
Sorry, it's not on that.
Keen Gas for the Fire Station Library and Historical Society. After Becky did phone call and speak to Coda and what's that guy's name? Guy, Nato. And Barrels of Fisher Oil also returned a bid. Do I have a motion to accept this bid from Keen Gas and Barrels and Fisher Oil?
So moved.
Didn't bid on my motion to table yet.
Do what?
Oh, you didn't second it.
There's no
anyway.
second.
Nobody seconded it. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carried.
Can I give you a big, I told you so when the price jumps?
It's a fixed
You-
price.
Can you,
It's a
can you,
fixed price, it's not gonna jump. I have the agreement all drawn up, so I'll have you sign it.
no more, let's see. No more new business, old business, Guilford Free Library Building Improvement Project.
And another one I got hand loaded for bear.
You what?
At the last meeting, the town approved $15,000 for renovations to the Guilford Free Library for the floor and stuff in the library. We received one bid from Mathis Hume Builders LLC for $19,207.58. That estimate is based on all the work, what they described was in our bid, or what we wanted done to the library. So it's $4,207.58 to come up with. And Becky, what did you find out on that?
Which this, I'm sorry, before that, the select board approved
The select board approved it at your
that
last meeting.
$19,000 bid, pending, no,
With the
with
caveat.
the caveat that we would, sorry, Gabby made this motion, I think, we would discuss the
And that was Troy's.
issue to see if the library would be able to come up with some funds or
Right,
help.
Correct.
right.
Okay, so that's where we are right now, right?
Right.
Okay.
And did you say the board of trustees were not meeting for the
The
library?
trustees meet on the 20th. They cannot do the 420758 that's over. However, they are taking into consideration the attic insulation, which is a little over $2,500. That was an addendum to the scope of work. And there's a window that, the attic insulation is $25.77 and there was a new window as an option, because you're doing your insulating, that it would be wise to do that for $808.44. I believe the contractor may cover that cost, so that the library trustees will be looking at the attic insulation at their meeting on the 20th. And in addition to that, we have heard from the fire marshal's office that there are some emergency lighting issues that need to be covered, and the library is going to be talking with the contractor at the meeting on the 20th, and hopefully we'll have an electrician estimate by then, and if not, Scott will be bringing that up with the trustees. So basically, the costs are probably gonna come close to the $4,000 that you folks are doing, so if the town does part and the library does the other half, is what I believe is gonna happen.
Now, you're talking about setting a precedent. You okayed a contract that was overbid by $4,000. And at the rate we're going doing these pet projects, we're gonna have the town bankrupt in about 2 years. And we have dipped into our reserve fund time and time again to cover projects that aren't necessarily need to be done today. I don't think okaying that bid was the wisest move we ever made. I think you should have okayed $15,000 worth of work, which is what was approved, and gone from there. That library's been there longer than all of us put together, so I don't think that probably those changes need to be made yesterday, if you get my meaning. So,
I don't think that we can go back and change that. I
You can't,
understand
you can't, no, we're stuck
understand
now.
your-
Yeah,
your
we're stuck, I'm just saying, it wasn't quite a decision
perspective.
you ever made.
But what
He's
I
not
am
allowed to miss
looking at,
meetings anymore.
sorry?
He's not allowed to miss meetings anymore.
What I am seeing is that this is, instead of a $15,000 bid, this is gonna be nearly double, like up to about 27,000. And,
Who came up with the original $15,000 bid?
that was a town meeting.
Yeah, that
was
was,
done a year
that
and
was
a
what we
half
did at the
ago.
budget, at the
So
budget
it's-
last fall,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, I think it's understandable that the cost and maybe there's scope creep and stuff like that from basically 2 years ago or 18 months ago. But then we get into these other things which turn into a fairly significant renovation to the building. And, you know, maybe it's required, maybe it's long overdue, but I think the trustees should present the case to the board. I mean, I don't think we should change the 19, but I think the trustees should.
I think this came up with necessary issues with the heat and whatnot. It wasn't an overall building makeover, it was very specific.
Yeah, but we've
And
done
it's
the
just-
door.
And it's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, every time probably the contractors get in there and they probably keep discovering
Yeah.
more stuff and they keep discovering stuff that's not up to code and it's a public
And
building.
don't get me wrong, I'm not against bringing the library up to whatever, but I mean, I just don't think that the historical society's gotta be painted. Well, the boards aren't falling off from it, we need to paint that tomorrow, and that's gonna be the next issue that's gonna come up, we need to paint the historical society. It's our, and it's some of the stuff we need to take a break on until we get our feet on the ground, know where we are. I think there's roughly $9,000 that's in the town coffer somewhere that nobody can find. Emergency management money.
Oh, I think that's gone.
Yeah, I think we've
If they
talked about
didn't
this.
use it, yeah, there's a memo,
Did you read that letter from Penny where
Yep,
there's
it's
so
gone.
much,
I mean,
so
it's
much?
gone.
If we don't, it's gone as
it's
of
gone,
July
we didn't
1st,
use
yeah.
it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But I mean,
a
that's,
different
we
issue.
couldn't use it for this anyway,
No,
but
but
I
that's a
mean,
different issue, but I will say, I agree with you as far as, you know, we're dipping into the coffers for the fire hydrants, it's $9,000.
yeah,
And now we're dipping in again,
yeah.
so I think we just need to,
We dipped in pretty heavy last year for the covered bridge.
I'm just saying that I think we need to be cognizant. I think that my understanding at the library is that the bid was what we, you know, they bid out the specific items that we asked them to do. Okay, my understanding is the basement of the library is not in particularly good shape. I just think that's sort of over and done with. We gave the okay. But I do agree that we need to be looking at where we're pulling money from in the future. And I think if that's what comes out of this, that's a good thing.
Conservative with our,
Our job is not to
Reserve
spend
fund,
money, it's
yeah.
to save money.
So, but I know Becky and I are working this week on a capital budget and maintenance of, you know, the town assets and stuff like that, just kind of come up with a draft for the select board to consider. So maybe this is part of that. I mean, I'm sure has to be part of it. And we can ask the library to give us a significant amount of input on the other required and anticipated renovations that they would want, I would think.
And I just also think Becky, I'm sure will keep in the back of her mind that when we're getting these bids, if it's a year and a half old and we go to town meeting, we have to really think about what are we putting in the town you know, in the budget and the plan.
I want to be up there and be able to sit up there at town meeting and say, we saved every stinking penny we could. This is absolutely bottom line what we can do.
Oh, I
Not
agree.
that we need 20,000 for this and 30 for that, and maybe we need another 100,000 for this. I don't like to deal that way, you know.
Right, but we also don't want someone, you know, we want the library to look nice, you know, people work
We want
there.
people to use it, we
It's,
want it
the
to-
whole town uses it, it's a great asset, you know,
Yeah.
people can go there, get the books, get whatever materials they need. So I think we don't want it to fall in disrepair either. I think we're always balancing, you know, what are we doing versus the cost.
I just left a meeting that would make your eyes roll the amount of money they spend on stuff that we could be doing out here. I'm not gonna tell you.
But I do think, you know, I think we just need to sort of move forward, and I think we're looking at, you know, looks like we will have overages from the last fiscal year, and so maybe our thought should be maybe we replenish our, you know, general fund, or I always call it the slush fund, but what is it?
No,
Reserve.
no, reserve.
Reserve.
Don't use the S word.
Reserve fund, with any potential overages that we have.
So I don't think we need to make a motion, this was just an
No,
update,
this
and
is an
I think
update.
that's, I think, thank you, I think it's a good conversation to be
Yeah,
having, Dick.
I just, when I watched you pass that motion, and that's
You
shortly
didn't
after
fall
that.
asleep
It
before.
was shortly after that when I turned it off, and I said, my knees hurting. I said,
Okay, moving on. Highway, general update. Dick, you been over see Danny?
the Moore roadsides, they fixed the bridge over here today.
What bridge, sorry.
Over by the
Carpenter,
French schoolhouse.
by the one.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I think the equipment's all doing well. The one truck is gone that we had sold, Dickie's old truck
Right,
went. The people that bought it got sick of dealing with the bank and rounded up their own money and bought it, so that truck is gone, so that's in the fund for the new truck. And other than that, things are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Highway.
Can I just say, looking at the, as numbers are coming in totaling for last year's budget, it looks like as of right now, he used just under 90% of his budget, so he did an excellent job given the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
Like, so you're talking about saving money,
Yeah.
pat down the back, because
Yeah.
he did a great job.
One thing I did do today is sort of on the new business, old business, whatever business, I took in some photos to Wyndham Regional, to possibly give us a grant for some mitigation work.
okay. Thanks for that update.
Huh?
Say that again?
Yeah, what are you talking about? You took photos into the Wyndham Regional Council so that they would do some mitigation work? Who would do what mitigation work?
Possibility of getting a hazard mitigation grant.
Hazard mitigation.
Grant, yes.
What, HMPG?
Yeah, a road,
For what, from Irene?
no.
For,
There's a new hazard mitigation grant application out due, open until November.
The email just came through this afternoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
So this is
But-
something you and Becky have talked
No,
about so that she
no,
can,
not at all.
I didn't know until.
you didn't know until this afternoon?
I just left the transportation meeting.
I see. So you and Becky will be talking about a new hazard mitigation grant.
I don't even know what the roads are. I have no idea. That's something that the board should be
Well-
submitting. If they're gonna submit for
Yeah.
grant, you should be talking about the whole thing at the board meeting.
as long as you're writing the grant, Dick.
So it's open till November, so you can bring, you said there's an email that came through this
Yeah.
Just came
afternoon.
Yeah,
through
it just
after
came
I
through.
saw
So
the
we can raise it at another meeting.
Yep. Moving on, finance.
Uniform no excess weight
Nope,
permits?
no weight permits. Well, Gabby, finance. I can't do it.
Can't do it. All right.
Oh, that's, yeah, everything's about that.
I knew, I said she
You knew
was
there was a
back.
reason you were.
I knew it. All right, Becky's gonna correct me if I'm, or Troy, if I mess it up. Make the following motion to pay payroll and warrants. Following payroll ending in 6/21, and that's a correction
Mm-hmm.
from the payroll that was approved was $10,807.24. That's corrected to be $11,351.61. To pay the payroll ending in 6/28/2015 in the amount of $4,754.69. Payroll for the pay period ending in 7/5/2015 in the amount of $5,256.23. Payroll pay period ending 7/12/2015 in the amount of $4,876.12. I don't need to do the subtotal, right? Following warrants, warrant number 1601 in the amount of $63,531.45, and warrant number 01DP in the amount of $62.50 for a grand total of payroll and warrants of $89,832, I almost got it right, and 60 cents.
A second.
Oh, any discussion?
I seconded it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Did Dick second it?
Yes, Dick
Mhm.
seconded. Not bad.
I know, next time I'll get it right.
So here's the, this is
So while we are signing the payroll and expense warrants, I'll pass the communications on to Becky to read them off.
We had to give our names at the meeting and then read the meeting. I said I would dig
Feel
Guilford.
free to take any of these.
There you go, Debbie.
They just had me kind of funny.
There was I had an
You
email.
sent out an email, but oh, yeah.
Did I print? I did print it. It's in your video.
You print everybody or just?
No, I did.
Okay,
I did
that's fine. I'll just
the
pull
one
mine
that
up.
came through. There was an email that had come through from one of the select board members about host families needed for foreign exchange students. And I don't know if.
Okay, I can talk a little bit about that. I don't know, it came to me, this was a woman named Virginia Doss, who's the regional director of CIEE. I do not know what that stands for. But they had little biographies of 4 students, one from Thailand, one from, I forgot, do you have that? 4 students, ages 15 to 17, who are looking for housing in the area. I put the information on Front Porch Forum yesterday. Korea, Slovakia, Brazil, and Thailand. They all sound like awesome kids. This is for the community. They're looking for any kinds of families, kids, no kids, empty nesters, single parents, whatever. The main requirement is kindness and a willingness to learn about a foreign culture. Students pay for all their own expenses with the exception of food and utilities. So I just wanted to bring this to the attention of Guilford, and we did it in the Front Porch Forum, and maybe people listening to the meeting tonight will hear about that as well.
Okay, I have one 15-year-old boy from Korea, that's the one you just named out.
Yes.
A girl, Laura, 17, from Slovakia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
You got that too?
I got that too.
Oh.
Yeah.
You probably already did.
I'm gonna take them all in.
You are. We probably all got that, But anyway, I'm bringing it to everybody's
I
attention.
haven't
so.
looked at my email yet, so.
It came from
That was last week.
Virginia
I
Doss.
still haven't looked at my email. Haven't made it through it all.
No, it went to,
Oh, yeah, same one I
Yeah.
got, yeah. I just didn't want you to think you'd one up on me, that's all.
not at all.
You keep saying you're not technologically advanced.
And
You're proving it wrong.
we did get another notice. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Okay.
I'm being wise ass again.
GLC's Power Smith Solar, Dan and Gold had come in to meet with the board here a few weeks ago, and it looks as though they're doing another installation of a photovoltaic group on down exit 1.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it's in Brattleboro, part of it will be in Guilford, and I gave each of you a copy of the letter that came through, that just came through in today's mail, so if you've got questions, I'm sure Dan would be entertaining, phone calls. He's very receptive to coming in, but I didn't make that phone call. Wyndham Regional Commission is they're creating a shared services listserv. This is in addition to the listservs that they have now. And they're looking for someone to be the representative to get on that listserv for shared services.
Do we have to nominate you, Becky, to do this? Because you
You
might
can
be the best
nominate
person.
I was
whoever
thinking.
you'd like to.
Yeah. What does it mean, the creating shared services listserv?
Basically, what they were trying to do, say for instance, right now, some of the policies that you have adopted or other towns have adopted, or even job descriptions, some towns that are creating, they're going through all of the work that other towns have done already. It's just another way, rather than going through the league, this is kind of particular to Wyndham Regional, so you're finding out kind of what worked in other towns are similar to our size, what policies work well, so that you can be getting information out and sharing information, possibly not duplicating services. If you've got, not that we would have a piece of equipment that we might borrow from another town, but we do some of that right now anyway through the league and through, Dan does that with other
We
towns.
have
and
a
it would just
mutual
be-
agreement with Brattleboro, Halifax,
And
Is it more work? Because VLCT does a lot of this stuff already, so.
This
Is it redundant?
This is,
I don't think I think it's a good thing to have with the, with the commission, because for example, with the sheriff, when he came in, he was talking about what potential changes might happen next year, and we're going to need to look for partners potentially in different towns, and I think that might be a nice vehicle.
there were probably 50 people or so that went to that meeting in Townsend, and some towns had all of their board members, the road commissioners there. It was like a 2.5 hour meeting, and there were a lot of people that they had someone from the Council of Governments in Greenfield come in and talk, that you can utilize so many more things, say for instance, your treasurer might, for some reason, God forbid, Penny and Pete were both out. We could get in touch with Nemrick, but another town might have some services that they could lend to us short term.
Mhm.
Not that we would wanna be doing something that extreme, but, just reaching out for some information that we could.
Okay.
I just think they've asked, and if you don't wanna appoint anyone, then you just don't go on the listserv.
This might go back to the flu bug years and years ago when Herb and I went to meeting after meeting, where the continuity of government, you had to have backup. Everybody, like the select board, we got a 5-person select board now, you should have 10. I think they said in case of pandemic, the casualty rate was not fatal, but would be like 70%. We need all these people to replace. So yeah, that's sort of what I think that's a follow up on that.
So I'd like to move that Becky be appointed our representative to the Wyndham Regional Council for
Just
working
to
on
get to the listserv.
listserv,
Yeah,
yes.
for sure, yeah, that's it.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I add one more thing about Wyndham Regional Council Commission? They sent out last week their link to the video, the 5-minute video about the Wyndham Regional Commission,
Right.
which was nice, well done, and I wondered if it might be appropriate to put it onto the town website for a little while, just so that in case people are looking for different things, they might look at that, because it was an interesting and well done 5-minute video.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
I don't see why not.
It wouldn't hurt.
It's going to be difficult for Penny or
Like,
Peter
yeah.
to put a link on?
No.
I'll just copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's see, we did get our highway mileage certified finally, and the maps have come through. This is from back several months ago.
So what we thought it was going to be?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, everything was just.
Is that
you
gonna
have
go
wait.
to the planning commission
They accepted the
too?
new mileage?
Everything is, planning commission, they don't receive copies of this, it gets on file with the town clerk, but there's no changes to what we submitted initially. It won't, whatever's in our town plan that was submitted initially, because we had gotten this done before that
It's-
deadline.
okay.
Yeah, that's all included. I didn't make copies of this, but there's a campground application put through to, the environmental conservation.
Where?
For, Stony Hill Road.
Stony Hill Road?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
It's up Dick's, right? Farnham's?
Stony Hill, no. Stony Hill, let's go up there and all around the fairgrounds. Oh, I said Cemetery Hill, get me there.
Oh,
No, Stony Hill, it's up to the Pete Haley.
Oh,
But basically, the mail is here, so if you
Yeah.
want copies of that, I can.
So is it a
print those.
250, project 250, or just a
No,
notice?
FYI.
not at this time, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they'll end up doing. if they
Well,
go through Act 250.
Agency of Natural Resources is,
Yeah. But they did send this through to planning, so Michelle should have, if they've been in, I don't know if this came through the mail, they didn't do it electronically. I wish they'd start doing that because people would get it a lot quicker. We did get our FY16 tax rate notice from the Department of Taxes, so that is here.
which is,
Homestead is at 99 cents, and non-residential education is 1.535.
99 cents.
1.535?
Well,
That doesn't sound right. No.
that's what the notice says, but when you look through to the tax rates are showing a different amount.
Because usually the,
1.6472 for non-residential, and the homestead is
yeah,
1.8175.
that's what I thought.
Say those numbers one more time.
Non-residential, 1.6472. Homestead, 1.8175.
It's an increase, every year they increase.
1.875.
Yeah, I think That sounds a little,
I'll take care of
is
that.
it on the
right
website?
now. Yeah, you can go to the
Vermont
website.
what?
No, I wouldn't put that on the website. Well, you
No,
could.
no, I don't want to, I wanna know what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call and find out. I'll look into it too,
Put
but
it on the
I'm wondering
website,
if
get
maybe they
people
just didn't cut and
confused.
paste what they moved to on the first page. We do have there's an emergency planning zone transition meeting coming up in the middle of August.
Is that the one in Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay, so they're asking for people to, say whether they're coming or not. And I thought it would be interesting to know who else is gonna go from Guilford, maybe on the select board, because I said I'd go. So I'd like to know if we can ride.
I'll find out from Ron too, if he's going.
When is it?
20,
It's 13th.
when is it, the 13th
13th
of
of
August, from 6:30 to 8:30?
8:30. It's serving food.
It'd be a nice ride up the valley on a bike.
Got a spare helmet?
Yeah, I got plenty of
Joe
help.
is going, so. Okay. I did have this was kind of an FYI, but it was also kind of to get permission. We've got, Broadbrook Community has set up another 501c3, and they just wanted the okay to use the town office to have their mail come through here, just as what happens for the Grange.
Broadbrook Community.
Yeah.
Is that the Grange, the Broadbrook Community Center?
There are two different things that are going on. It's the Grange Redevelopment Task Force, maybe Dick can speak to this, which is a group of Grange and non-Grange people formed out of Vermont Council on Rural Development. They've been meeting and they received approval from the Grange to proceed with the 501c3,
Right.
and the new incorporated name is gonna be Broadbrook Community Center. They don't have a structured organization yet. They have 3 people, which is Don McLean, Rick Zamor, and Sarah Coffey. They will be doing bylaws, applying to the IRS for tax exempt and everything, and they just wanted to let Penny and Pete know that their mail was gonna be coming through the town office. So it was enough FYI. And let's see, Deerfield Valley Transit's changing its name to Southeast Vermont Transit, ALCT News.
That's because they are integrated with Deerfield Valley, yeah.
Yeah. And we had a notice from a bridge contractor that has services that they're, did I mention in here about, I skipped over it. The V-Trans email that came through which we knew it went through the bridge for coverage.
Oh, right,
Had gone
just
through the
yeah.
environmental review. The contract's being processed, we can start work on the project, however, until everything gets signed and in place, we can't, so I've already alerted that, so as soon as we,
Good thing we
Have
put
to go
that on the
ahead on
back burner for FY16, huh, Gabby?
Now,
It all works
that's all
out.
I have.
in July of next year, there is going to be a Vigilant Guard catastrophic event put on by the state. I'm a planner, I can't tell you what it's gonna be, cause I'd have to, however, the select board and highway and everybody, we're gonna need volunteers for this thing, and it's gonna be in July, and it's still in the planning stage. It's gonna be a major event, Wilmington's playing, Dummerson's playing. So and of course the state is also,
So this is something that came up tonight at the Wyndham Regional
no,
Council?
this is something that
This is part of
been
what Ron talked to you guys about.
cooking for months.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that big one that Ron was telling us about.
As you recall, last year we had one, actually it was sort of ironic the way we had the catastrophic event, and then the 4th of July with it, they had the big fire where the firemen got zapped and lightning.
Yeah.
Everything that we've done at that tabletop event happened to that night too, so I mean, you can't have enough training. All I can tell you is none terrorist, none nuclear, so other than that. But it's critical that we get some participation too when this thing comes about
And this is from the public?
from the public and the select board and the highway department and
Do we
planning
usually
commission.
have good public participation in, because I know they call for volunteers all the time. I don't know how many people participate.
In those type of things?
Yeah,
Not too many normally. It's sort of the way society's gone, that we're here, if something happens, we'll be taken care of, sort of attitude I think that society has got into. Nothing wrong with that, but I mean, that's just the way we've gone, where that if I get a big snowstorm, I gotta take care of myself, not wait for the town to come plow me out. And that's kind of what this event is gonna do, is kind of bring that out a little bit, that,
You're almost giddy about it.
he's gonna enjoy the planning of this one.
I know the planning, yeah,
So
Herb
We're
said,
reverting to 1950 here.
Herb said it could be.
Uh-huh.
So we should just like bring that up if this is just sort of an early forewarning.
It's just let you know the event is coming.
And do we pay people for this?
No.
Okay, it's all voluntary.
It's not voluntary,
All right.
unless we have it on part of your select board money, what do you mean?
What select board money? I don't know what you're talking about, Dick.
So no, seriously, it's gonna be a good event.
Okay, we have no need for executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye.
Good night.